Well, that was a stomp we didn't expect. I certainly didn't expect. I've got Mimi, Bala, and BZK back with me on the desk. That was way too fast, Mimi. I don't even remember half the things that was going on.
Yeah, it was absurd. I mean, we had kind of a punt from 100 Thieves to pick into this fracture map, and did not work out whatsoever. It felt like their game plan was absolutely no match against what Fnatic was putting up.
Yeah, super disappointing showing from 100 Thieves. I think you look at them picking Fraction, you expect, okay, there's probably going to be something. They force Cryon to raise again. That experiment, I'm sorry, but they have to stop if they want a chance here at lock-in. And maybe they don't have the prep to be able to switch it around. But yeah, super disappointing. It didn't really look like there was any game plan with the comp that they were running. And that's really unusual for 100 Thieves. Well, really unusual.
BZK, what do you think went wrong there?
Like, 100 Thieves made a pick of Fracture, and they had no information about how Fnatic was playing the map. And that's a really risky pick there, because you can pick several maps that Fnatic played the whole tournament, and they just tried to make a blind pick there, and they got surprised. Like, Fnatic was always one step ahead.
Yeah, and it kind of in contrast to what 100 Thieves brought out, I think the game plan for Fnatic was really fantastic. You talked at the halftime ball about how well they were optimizing grabbing ords to always have ults online, and it feels like with putting the emphasis on that, every other round they were able to have one of these preset executes with a breach ult or a brim ult, and 100 Thieves was consistently overwhelmed by them. As well as that, even when they were giving up sites, their retake was really struggling because Fnatic did a great job of having continual utility in their post plant, having Leo have another flash, another stun to keep fighting forward and never giving 100 Thieves a chance.
Yeah, and Leo, what a performance for his first map on stage. Just ridiculous. He pounded 100 Thieves into dust. This is a ridiculous performance. It's the same thing that we saw when we first saw Leo on LAN at Copenhagen. He is ridiculously good and talented, and I think everybody who was sleeping on him right now or doubting the people who were saying this guy is the real deal, right now they're questioning themselves, actually probably all aboard the Leo train.
And he only died 3 times as well, which I think is kind of crazy.
Pretty
BZK,
good.
you know, you said it was going to be a big advantage for him to join the boys on stage. Did you expect it to be that big of an advantage?
That was a huge game for him. Like, I didn't expect that performance, but I knew it was going to be a huge thing for Fnatic, and they showed like way more team play, way more like team working there, like with the 5 players on the stage.
Yeah, again, it is crazy that this is this team's first event, and both these brand new initiator players, at least for this squad, have integrated so perfectly.
Yeah, and speaking of one of those initiator players, let's take a look at Chronicle right now, warming up in the AIM Lab shoot around. Now, BZK, you were telling us quite a funny tidbit about how Brazil viewed a Chronicle. Would you be able to share that with us here?
Yeah, not by him doing that, but usually when something does a really good skillful play, like a really good aim in a match, we in Brazil say, okay, this guy has Chronicle's aim, you know, so that's something it's common here in Brazil.
Ball is loving that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was touted potentially as one of the best players of 2021, definitely the best initiator for Gambit after that run that they had, the first place and then the second place. So yeah, that's not surprising. I'm just hoping he's not playing ranked like that, or maybe that's why Gambit lost last year.
Maybe that's the secret.
What?
Maybe that's the new secret.
Yeah, maybe that's why he's doing so good.
Hidden tech, don't use your movement keys while in game.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I do as well. I don't play nearly as well as Chronicle. But we are going to move on to map 2. And would you know it, it's going to be Icebox. We finally get to see what Fnatic have been doing on Icebox. They haven't played this map at all. And it does feel like this is if you're a Fnatic fan, Bala, you're absolutely loving the fact that we're going to see Icebox.
Oh, absolutely. I think the one doubt I have in my mind is that 100 Thieves has won the Icebox both times that they've played it, and they do have a real game plan with that Cryo Omen. But Fnatic, they haven't played it yet, and it's always historically been one of their greatest maps. I'm wondering what the change is going to be for that Chamber, because they're definitely not going to play Chamber on this map, but they are still going probably to play the Killjoy in the Sage.
Yeah, and that's something that's funny about Fnatic on Icebox, because they really had a really strong Icebox for always, but they never used the most common composition on the match.
Yeah.
And on this patch, like, it's so good for them.
Well, you can see, guys, Fionn, our very own Fionn on Fire, said that Arsena is the king of Icebox. But Durka, I think, had something to respond to this tweet. I think he was very, very confused. The disrespect that Fionn was putting on him. And Mimi, he has every right to feel that way.
Yeah, absolutely, because in 2022, this was Fnatic's absolute best map. They were fantastic at it. On the attacking side, Durka did such a good job of taking space for this team, always getting into post plants where they had really strong ideas. And on the defense, they did a great job of denying plants. They were always double flanking, providing pressure, never letting their opponent find much. Even against the best teams like last last year FPX, Fnatic was always winning on Icebox.
Yeah, and we have been waiting for this matchup, Asuna versus Durka, from before this 100 Thieves squad has really even been formed. Asuna hasn't necessarily been having the best performances, not only on this map, but others in recent times. But the last match, he just had a really strong performance. So I'm excited to watch these two. The problem here, though, is last map was a Durka diff, a Chronicle diff, a Leo diff, everything diff for Fnatic, and 100 Thieves needs to be much, much, much better.
Well, VCT, you were interested in what they were going to pick here in the Prime Gaming Agent Select, and it does feel like a very straightforward comp for Fnatic. Durka moving to the Jet instead of the Chamber.
Yeah, definitely. And the main thing is the difference between this patch that we're playing right now, Lock-in, and like the last champions, like the KO, the Chamber. So it does change a lot about how you get control of some areas in Icebox, and I just feel that this composition fits so well for Fnatic.
Yeah, and for 100 Thieves, it feels like they just have to shut down Durka. Before he was in Chamber Jail, now he gets to play on his Jet, which is his best role on his best map. This is going to be a really challenging one for NA's last squad.
Well, 100 Thieves, they have to bounce back here if they want to stay in this tournament. Pansy and HyperX, I hope you guys get a good game, especially since HyperX has just come back.
Well, you know, a good game is subjective, right? But Michael, what I'm going to ask you...
I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah, it seems wonderful. Talk to me. Give me some hopium. Give me something to
All
work
right,
with here.
I'll huff
you got
a
me
little
something?
bit just for you.
All right.
100 Thieves are a 3-map team. Okay, I'm done. That's all I got. Shout out Van Silly, by
Yeah, I
the
was
way.
about to say, you've been on Van's
It's a
Twitter.
fantastic point. The other things, this comp for me,
Yeah?
it feels like they're going to rely once again on something that just didn't go right for them on Fracture. Tucking into sites, relying on, you know, receiving that first engagement, conceding some space for Fnatic. It feels so uncomfortable to do with Fracture going the way it did. 100 Thieves need to show some of that determination that we've seen in previous series. I mean, the 11-11 Thrifty on Haven, sticking the defuse, 12-11 on Pearl versus EDG. 100 Thieves have to ride that. And they have to have a confident start here on the first half.
They can set the tone. They start out on the attacking side here. Their map choice gone, crushed. But walking into Icebox, they're certainly no strangers to it. And a 3-2 split to begin. An early glimpse towards A, but no intent behind it and no flank noted. That's the start. Cryo. But heading Alpha opens up some chances here. Will force the rotation, but there are still 3 players from Fnatic very close by, and Boaster willing to prove. What? Boaster, what the hell is that?
Well, he wanted to stop the plant going down, and he's done it. 100 Thieves now forced to try and recover. They do still have the wall, but
What's
a
in that
man
headband?
advantage.
Michael, someone check him headband, because it's not normally. There's something bizarre going on. Boaster just waltzed in and just kicked down the door of 100 Thieves. We're in the post plant, right? Now the pressure gets put a little bit further towards 100 Thieves to hold this. Durka's on the hunt. You've got Derek kind of on his own as well. That's dangerous. Stella's gone down. Cryo's still standing. Derek and Cryo, you got to do something. Cryo made a damn good go, but it ain't going to be enough. Barely 30 HP between them, but it's more than enough to get the job done. Diffuses there. Fnatic strike first.
Again, just I guess this could be nerves, but there's just no contingency there. Nobody's watching somebody make an audacious play like Boaster did, swinging around, capitalizing on the poison orb decay. I'm pretty sure, was there 2 people towards yellow? There's definitely one. There's definitely one.
I mean,
Yeah, you see Banks so late with the swing. Sorry, Derek was inside the poison orb as well. And the problem being, again, preventing that plant. So much of the time on the wall is burnt up. So actually, 100 Thieves don't even have that window in the post plant to actually take one engagement, then reset towards main. Big round from Boaster.
huge. And you talk about tape. I mean, they've had plenty of glimpses at this 100 Thieves side. We hadn't seen Fnatic really rely into this map. Actually, a very limited map pool visible so far, in 2 wins so far for the vast majority of their opening games. So again, very small sample size. But this classically always suited them well. Let's see what 100 Thieves can make out of this.
Force purchase coming through for 100 Thieves as well. Desperate to try and stop any early momentum. Maybe prevent a snowball like the first map.
Well, the site should be theirs this time. I don't see much to challenge on the plant. So good start here. Can they somehow batten down the hatches? Any punishment on the way out? No. A little bit of chip damage. But Durka getting curious. Flies in. Almost takes it down, but for the second time of asking, he gets it. A 4v3 now. Stella, Derek, and Bang, what do you have for this one? The wall decays, broken down, and up and over the top again. Oh, poor old Derek. This is going to be a tall task. First found. 3 more. That's a great shot. But there's still 2 more, and it doesn't matter. The individuals, yes, doing a bit of damage, but that was a buy-in from 100 Thieves too.
Was desperate to stop this early progress for Fnatic, but Vander retrieved a Bulldog, saved across for Boaster. 100 Thieves have to ride this out with potentially Sheriffs, maybe. A little investment behind it, but
that's a stat.
That's kind of crazy, actually, yeah. 100
Yeah.
Thieves' last series loss was against Fnatic.
Absolute kryptonite to this team, it feels like.
It's the elimination game, right?
Yeah, it was. But to me, again, I think everyone looks at the individuals on 100 Thieves and sees that potential. You've got some of the best players, those kind of up-and-comers that could prove to be absolutely fatal down the line. Just wait and see it all come together, but Fnatic seems like maybe a challenger a little too far ahead. But
I come back to the point I made previously.
Yeah.
In my eyes, Bang, best controller NA. Again, that discussion has gone on long enough now. Obviously, there's the separate with the meta changing around Cryo, but in my eyes, Bang hasn't had a bad event, but he's nowhere near his peak. He's nowhere near that peak that we've seen previously.
the day they figure it out, whatever it is, I don't...
I mean, the man's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, no, watch their games back. If only, let's say you only tune in and watch the international events, fair enough. I don't blame you. They're good games. But watch these guys. Go back and watch that tape because you cannot deny that capability. And when they somehow get it to all come online at the same time and it all works at these sort of events, that's a team that can certainly cause so many problems. But it's not there yet. We're not out of the woods yet in this matchup. It could be soon, but a couple of Sheriffs, a Marshall. They did have a little bit of light armor too. They're eyeing up that B site. This time, I wonder if Boast is going to dare to be so audacious.
Ton of damage though with that snake fight, and unfortunately the wall coming down so late that Asuna, I mean, didn't even get the wall down. Sorry, he had the wall in his hands there.
That's a huge punish. Stella and Asuna are now down. They're down to just 3, trying to get a plant. Do they get it? Alpha's taken away Bang, but they did get the plant down. But only a little bit of chip damage towards Alpha. And well, 4 standing. This is going to be a big call to action for 100 Thieves. This round has to mean a whole lot. That first buy that comes in, they have to start doing more.
It is, because then there's factors we can start discussing about the comp, right? You're playing against a player like Durka, who has just been playing lights out this entire event. Then we talk about, obviously, Cryo facing off against that as the expected, what we would have before we saw this composition. It's kind of a slow attack comp here. It leans towards that, and with no flash, it's so reliant on Derek and potentially in that regard, Bang, to use their utility to force Durka out of these spots. It's just so hard for 100 Thieves to commit unless they figure out where Durka's going to be with this operator, which, I mean, I wasn't even looking. He's got it online now, yeah. So it's going to be a factor from this round going forward. How 100 Thieves deal with this.
Let's see what he does this round again. Same turret going to come in, but he's happy to take an early challenge. So it has been spotted. You can see 100 Thieves seeing quite aware of that potential that he does try and maybe add some additional pressure, sitting super deep in the default and allowing 2 to kind of explore through towards middle. But it's not unchecked. Alpha is on guard duty, holding down this mid push. Swings off the back of the turret contact, but lovely shot from Cryo.
Boaster, though, is happy to come up and equalize. We'll find the kill onto Bang. Cryo now in a world of trouble, has to dig himself out of this position, does have that TP to get away, but Durka, he's found Derek over towards B site. He's going to try and punish the plant, maybe?
Maybe a little off on the timing, but clears the close part of the wall. This one could still be tucked there. Asuna got away, made it back. And now there's Durka with the first glimpse. Spots one out by Yellow, but only sees Stella. And now a tap on towards the diffuse walls there. Asuna leans forward, takes down Bosto. Chronicle answers back, and doubles down into it. And now just one life deleted. Chronicle writing chapters of this victory already. That's going to be 4 for Fnatic. This is worrying scenes. Yes, they took down Bosto. Yes, they succeeded in middle, but the answer was quick from Fnatic.
And that's the key word, quick. You can see immediately. I thought Durka was going to go and try and punish there. Honestly, they know, obviously, Cryo's position. They know that it's at least 2 that push towards Kitchen. Early on, I think Asuna sending some shots out at least, but the Killjoy turret being noted. They had no information on what was left elsewhere on the map for 100 Thieves. So I think the assumption there is he's planting solo. You can see immediately they
There
were
was that,
ready.
yeah.
They were ready to try and punish. Boaster just screaming for everyone to hang fire for a moment.
I gotta say, Boaster's been pretty cheeky with how he's been playing on this map, actually. Some really imperative kills for the side. Durka still patrolling over towards A. Let's look at 100 Thieves this time, testing this operator.
Drone available for Derek. Obviously, Recon burnt up already. Man, this round here, don't really want to see Durka exploring too deep. That's why he's on a very deep angle here. Asuna might be first on the chopping block.
Timing on this. I spotted him. Yeah, and didn't get challenged from Nest either. Asuna was just
Still a little off with the double swing.
Yeah. Oh, no, this is getting so deadly. What is going on? They are lucky to be standing. Durka missing a couple of shots there, but I'm looking towards the rest of the map. Is there any slip through? It looks like Bang might have found a little bit of room to work, but it's minimal. But it has forced them to somewhat dismantle this stack.
Chronicle throwing up the wall just to prevent that waterfall onto site. Gonna feel a bit of pressure here though, but the recon bolt is gonna help him out massively. Asuna, his trademark across the ropes.
Ooh.
And another one.
Big boy shots from Asuna. Needs a couple more of those. But we are into a 3v2. They've made this a little more possible. Maybe taming the aggression slightly, but Alpha does not care. They're flying in. Fnatic want him dead. Durka wants his crown. Remove the usurper away. And 5-0. It's not looking dangerous enough for me yet.
Gonna repeat the same statement I made on Fracture. This is, in my eyes, what feels like the swing round here for 100 Thieves. They have to start chipping away at this economy that Fnatic have built up already. Chronicle looking so sharp this map as well.
It's lovely, that little 1-2 punch. Him and Leo, the utility work, so complementary. Just revealing as they made that little push up. He never felt so he was on an island to an extent. But no, the utility work, just gorgeous to witness the purchases in.
Yeah, Fnatic have actually done a very good job at dealing with Derek's utility so early on that Durka feels none of that pressure. Again, this is the last thing you want to have to do against an operator. This slow creep around the map, desperately trying to figure out where he is.
Yep.
Again, with no flashes in this composition, it's not really as if you can commit to clearing or forcing Durka off any of these angles.
They did find success off this last time, though. Managing to catch Alpha on the swing off the back of the turret's contact, but this time not the case. There's a slip through mid that Bang maybe explored in the prior round. Sent it obviously a little deeper. Now noting the rotation, that's going to be more players here. Alpha, good for one, but the quick punish on Bang. Good trade. Now the site looking a little more open. Do they commit off the back? Yes, they do. 100 Thieves could be working their way up. I want to see if they follow through on this, though.
Do have the res, so they can retake control here from Orange. Just about getting out here. Just be able to get back to 5 standing for Fnatic.
There we go.
Boaster actually has the Viper's Pit here.
Ooh.
It's not Bang planted, so though 100 Thieves won't have a Viper's Pit of their own. But only 1 kill away. That's a problem.
Lockdown on lockdown. Hunter's Fury to try and deal with it as well. That's going to be posted in. Not going to be found just yet, but Asuna pays patience. It does get 2. Now we look at what's remaining. A 2v3. Stella, Derek, Bang. The time is a huge element in this. The lockdown did catch one. That's Leo. A little unfortunate for him, making a little bit of a mistake here. Does get away, still alive. Durka tries to do the best to keep him standing, but now overwhelmed. 100 Thieves finally making it on the board.
Said that felt like a must-win for 100 Thieves. 3 standing. Yeah, to at least start to get their footing. Fnatic not really going to feel the sweat after that loss, to be honest with you.
No, but I do like that they finally explored middle to an extent of that level of success. Bang finding that little bit of room, isolating Boaster, perfect. Love to see it in the actual ability to then kind of springboard off the back. This is what I want to see, is maybe finding that space across this map going forward.
Well, Durka's actually swapped out the operator here, so be a real spanner in the works if 100 Thieves now have to deal with Durka digging a little deeper for this opening fight.
Well, you look at the pressure that's on someone like Alpha's shoulders right now, having to deal with kitchen, mid, any of that slip through now being exploited once. It's going to have an earlier lean potentially coming back. from the likes of Leo,
I
right?
was going to say, Durka's actually close enough to hear these steps, though, Lauren.
Oh, wow.
So if this is relayed, you can already see Leo
Needs to get back
going
around.
to start making his way across this direction.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Do they clear him in nest? They haven't.
They haven't. The Aldrin
This
not
is the
spotted
problem.
in. This could be a massacre. That's going to be the spike down. Durka gets away with his life. Yeah, huge damage dealt with. Now what do they have to work with? There's a slow build from Cryo over towards B. Rez comes in with backup 5. The Rez going to get punished. Leo's waiting. Straight back down to the dead. Bang's gone. The 5v4 once again. Yes. Space foul from Cryo though. This is still decent, but they have a limited amount of time to work with, and they've lost him out. Boaster playing so well in that big composure kept. And all of that advantage they had towards B is now gone.
Boaster's still here, should be able to hear the cross. Look at the utility to just slow even further.
Oh, lovely work from Asuna though, as a response. Desperate to fight for the site. Derek's now going to be noted. Okay, doesn't get the same sort of capability to do damage on the flank anymore. That's going to be in the back of Fnatic's minds. Durka, death from above, joined by Alpha and now 2. Stella and Derek both potentially noted here as well. Derek's now dealt with and defused. Stella, what can you do about this one? He's got to stop him defusing. Oh,
What?
Alpha gives him the backhand. It ain't going to happen.
Oh no. And that one felt like it almost definitely should have gone in 100 Thieves' favor. Asuna just foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
Desperate to try and find something else ahead of Fnatic setting up for that retake. I think after a round like that, you have to kind of get everybody back on the same page because there's just certain things that just feel a little desperate, a little less considered. On the side of 100 Thieves, really starting to feel the pressure now. A 5-round deficit.
You're getting flashbacks to map 1.
Yeah, much the similar. There's, I'll be honest, the only positive being they doubled down on that initial success. I'm air quoting success they found in Kitchen and got one on the board. But again, massive investment there. Fnatic actually invested in their own lockdown, draws out the Hunter's Fury. It weakens 100 Thieves' overall economy. And then they're right back to square one now.
I want to see what their approach is, though. Have they managed to find anything out? Someone in the crowd's really excited.
What's going on out there?
I don't know. Bloody hell. What game are they watching? Clearly a Fnatic fan. But yeah, I do want to see a response, though, from 100 Thieves. I think they've had a little bit of time now, right? They've mulled over the options. Hopefully the coach has noted a couple of options for them to explore going forward. Because right now, they're not really punishing Durka's exploration towards A, right? He's been able to get Nest a couple of times, push up a little deeper a couple of times. Again, they haven't really threatened Boaster too much, even though he's isolated.
I mean, you're noting as well, Alpha has his, like, literally his hands full in terms of what he has to deal with.
All that?
But he's not really breaking a sweat.
Nope.
Again, the reads, the rotations are perfectly on time for Fnatic. That even if Alpha is under any threat, there's a contingency in place. There's a safety net for it.
And if you do want to punish this, oh my word, this solo hold towards B, you have to have so much intent and pace behind it because the rotations aren't slow. Alpha's there instantaneously and Leo's the one swing through. But here's the other side of the map.
Digging a little deeper here, doubling down on that previous round from Durka.
Reading it so well off the back of the Alder and a little bit of info.
My eyes are on Stella here. He can't drift away from this alarm bot.
Oof, bloody hell, bang. Taking a boatload of damage.
They've noted the flank now, and there's no map control for 100 Thieves.
No, they're stuck. They are stuck here. They have nowhere to go.
No way, Durka.
Durka! We told you this was his map. The ult came in the meantime as well from Boaster. The map's feeling very small. Cryo trying to fight their way forward. Maybe a little bit of an overextend towards CT, try and get the pressure. But you can see Leo somewhat aware, but Asuna, great trade. Chronicle answers right back in kind. And they need someone to dig deep here. They need some big kills. They need Asuna to bail them out, and he simply cannot do it. Durka puts him down. And Fnatic once again, 3 still standing, doing everything correct.
Not going to be a buy on the board. On the cards here, sorry for 100 Thieves.
Look at that, bloody hell.
Durka just pulling out the rank strats now. Let's take mid, I'll updraft. I'll updraft over B main.
They're
So
all
it's the
stuck
first.
there.
It's the first time that we've not had some threat in middle. Bang and Cryo have been so present previously.
But it's a great counter read, right? During the timeouts, Mini's obviously going to realize that, yeah, Boaster's been isolated. Yes, they've explored a little towards middle. They'll probably double down on that. But now we see the challenge on this side of the map. That's different. Maybe they stick around a little longer. Yeah, Chronicle's feeling it. He's feeling confident enough. Does
Stella.
relinquish. Has to fall away. Stella was just tunneled. Oh, Darker snaps to Cryo's head. And the tunnel vision then, desperate to hunt down a player. Leo just strides through the wall. Yeah, they're trading players, but where's the upgrades? Where's the space? They still need more.
Asuna slowly regaining some of that HP, but it's only going to be 20. A stinger in hand. Derek has been sharp previously with this weapon, but we'll need to see some magic from him for 100 Thieves recover this round. I think almost just going to wait another 15 seconds for Asuna's second heal. Or maybe not.
Apparently not, just drifting forward. Chronicle, happy with that. Oh,
Oh, not like this.
shout out to Tommy.
Tommy's got you covered. He's holding the angle.
Tommy's good for his. All right, ult-wise though, Asuna one away, Cryo one away. Still not too far off, Bang's got his. On the other side, actually, not too much to write home about just yet. Probably another round to go, but yeah, this is starting to look a little bit desperate, a little bit messy. Now, that was a round with a little bit of a lighter purchase, so again, don't take too much stock into that. This is the buy round. This is the one with all the rifles that they need. It's the best attempt they're going to have until this point.
I mean, damage control at this point.
Show me what
Damage
you got.
limitation at this point.
And look at the switch up though. Durka now onto the other side of the map. Again, maybe reading the potential. They want to try and pressure this side when they had the buy. And it looks like they are indeed
no.
swinging this way. Durka is potentially the guillotine, the blade, waiting to come down on 100 Thieves' heads. But we wait. We see if his patience pays.
How many is
It's
he good
only
for?
Durka. Boast is already over by A. Oh my god. Oh my god, they're all there. They're all there. They're all there and they're all his. Durka is just devious with it. 3 quick kills and 100 Thieves are just left to nothing, left in ruin. This was the best attempt and it's read like a book. Cryo and Bang, good luck.
I mean, how do you break through this now? The first wave being Durka, the second being the onslaught of utility.
The rest of Fnatic.
Yeah, the rest of Fnatic now. Still got a drone to work with here
Oh.
for Leo as well.
It's arduous to watch. Heartbreaking for 100 Thieves who've had such gritty, determined games. And is this how it falls apart? An attempt from Bang, but it's only for one. And we're going to ask big things of Cryo here, and he has not got the answer. This is Fnatic in a different league currently.
Yeah, a cut above. Thieves again going to be struggling financially, whether or not we'll see them just throw into the last few. It's just... It's so rough here. Nobody's drifting out the right side. They even clear double box.
You just say my map. Oh dear. You know what, yeah, I think at 9-1 it might be your map. 18-4 by the way. Quite a good performance. Oh, he's off again.
Yep.
Dirk is feeling like he wants to bully. Oh dear, yep, and he's away, right. 35 HP, but dips out of there. Does get punished, okay. Where the hell was that from?
Stinger wallbang, you don't see them very often. You've got to commit to the res here. Get 5 standing once again. Chronicle one off his, so you want to see 100 Thieves really lean towards ending on B here, preventing. But actually, Boaster's managed to police the weapon away. So
Nice
no
work.
upgrade on the back of the kill.
Really nice work. I don't know where he found the time or the space to do that. I thought they would have
There was like
punished.
3 members of 100 Thieves there.
Yeah, okay. The ult's going to come in. This should give them safe passage for a plant. First time in a while. They've been really struggling to get this down cleanly. There's been chip damage galore. And they paused for thought. Derek maybe looking for an opportunity. Boaster keeps his head down. Oh, no, Derek jumps up for a second and loses his head. The plant going to come in. Asuna, not safe either. Fnatic are not letting them plant. There's nothing going 100 Thieves' way now.
Absolutely nothing. 4 standing, 100 Thieves. We had to scrape together a purchase here. We'll touch base with the ultimates, but the lockdown's the only positive. Cryo, if you can make a play, now's the time to do it with the TP. There's so many bodies here to remove that safety net of the wall going down. Asuna can't even get the spike down.
Oh. It's
It's uncomfortable viewing, honestly.
It is. It's hard to watch because 100 Thieves just, they can't break ahead of this. 2 ults to play with. An attempt to be made. Chronicle, Alpha, everyone's here. This is way different. 4 players on the A site. Alpha going to get contact off the back of the turret. Does he stick around now?
I mean, concern being 100 Thieves creeping towards B. If Boaster gets the sound cue, he's got the Poison Orb, he's got the Nano Swarm. He can delay long enough. The rotation's already coming through. Fnatic are going to be here to greet this B site hit once again.
I quite like that Chronicle is also keeping somewhat of a watch towards middle because that's something that has been unchecked on. But as we note it, it's pretty much all in towards B. This time...
Asuna's eating it.
Oh, God, Asuna! He's alive. He is alive. He is alive and standing for now. Derek going to try and at least keep some safety here. Boaster needs to be careful. Stays alive himself as well. It's so contested on this side. There is still no plan to be had. 50 seconds. Bang draws blood. That's Chronicle down. That's good work. Plant going to come in. And now the time's on their side. Durka has watched them. He is keeping them pinned here. Alpha by his side. The cross! Crow hits the shot. He's given them a chance here.
So Boaster was trying to get a half there. Cryo going to find one into Alpha, but this lockdown might catch. No.
No, he's good, he's good. Leo and Boaster up against 4 post-plant. 100 Thieves need to have this. They are desperate for this Leo. How much can you do? That's only 1 found. He needed more. Boaster, 26 HP, and time is not on his side. This might be enough, finally, for 100 Thieves to draw the second round. But that's all they're going to have.
An improvement on the first map, but the same discussion stands. Mountains to climb in the second.
Their work is cut out in front of them. We need to see a resurgence from 100 Thieves, or this one is all but done at 10-2.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypog Bala. What is going on? What is happening?
Yikes. Yikes. Just straight up 10-2 on the half. That's 2 just dominant and disgusting halves. It's bullying at this point.
And it just looks like 100 Thieves is crumbling under the pressure. The coordination is all off. It doesn't feel like they're using their utility very well to clear anything. And on the other side, Fnatic is just loving it. Dirk is just running it down every round and dominating.
Yeah, definitely. Like, even when they try to get control of an area, like, they are able to get every information that they need to. Like, he used his drone on the A side, and he wasn't even able to find Dirk there with his jet. And when he was going to be, like, the player was playing backside, and he was like drone AB main. And he was like, all the time was so bad for 100 Thieves.
Nothing's going right for them, but what is going right for is Fnatic, and we have a Verizon high-speed moment of the match. Look at this from Chronicle, a cheeky 3K as well here. Honestly, everything Mimi is just going to the side of Fnatic, it feels like.
Yeah, it really has been. And I mean, to your point, Bazooka, beyond just 100 Thieves failing to clear out space, their solution to that has been, okay, we're going to go B. But they keep throwing this same wall. They keep trying to plant in the same exact spot, and Fnatic continually popping down mollies to stall, spamming out the wall, and then just winning the round every time.
Yeah, there was even that moment on Pistol where Boaster just walks into the smoke and kills the planter in that exact same
And no one
spot.
was back able to trade it.
And genuinely, every single player on Fnatic could have had a high-speed moment at this point. Like, straight up. Look at this from Chronicle on the half, 14-4. It's just ridiculous, and I really don't think there's a way back into this for 100 Thieves. Not with the way they just played.
Well, is there a way back, BTK? Do you think 100 Thieves can bring this back? What do they need to do?
It's a really hard to reset, especially after we lost the first match the way it was, and started the second match, like, losing by 10-2. So you are able to do it, but that's not easy.
Yeah, and it's going to be brutal. This is the last North American squad left in the tournament. They are on the verge of going home. They're on the verge of another Fnatic versus Na'Vi game in a semifinal.
Well, BZK said it. You can do it. It's not going to be easy, but there is hope. Pansy and Hypog, let's see if 100 Thieves can pull this back.
Never a truer word spoken.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be easy.
10-2. Dirk has almost dropped 20 in the half.
Light work.
Light work. Right. 100 Thieves, show me what you got. I mean, this is it, right? In the most simple terms of this game, there is no tomorrow now for 100 Thieves. It's this map, it's this half, it's this first round. It's now or it's never. You fall away. North America sadly loses. the vast majority of its teams now, and they crumble under what is argued to be one of the super teams that we're going to see throughout this year at the very least.
Absolutely no shame in that. With the way Fnatic have played, there is no shame in this scoreline right now, but 100 Thieves have just been simply outclassed so far in this series. Have to make a stand here in the pistol round. Derek finds Durka. Big opener.
Get some confidence beside the side. Get him feeling the game a little, because it feels like they've just been dictated to the whole time. Hard to try and muster confidence with only 2 rounds by your name, but it has to start somewhere. We can see Fnatic leaning back to this mid-walk. Leaving a couple players behind, though.
There is a Nano Swarm just outside Tube here to stop this split from happening, or maybe slow it down a little bit.
It's going to upset the timing. But
Stella doesn't swing off it.
Yeah, and they've still got kitchen control at this point, so the rotations aren't on the way, right? So it's the 2 players on the side who have to hold this. It comes down to Stella and Bang to do serious damage because the support is still a little while off. Blonde! Oh my god, Chronicle! How the hell did he get Stella there? Brilliant work from Bang and Asuna, though. Holding on to this and reading the additional player. Boasted did a bit of damage, but it was traded. And now Alpha, a 1v3. You got to see 100 Thieves lock this down. Do not give him a chance. Do not give him an attempt. 30 seconds to play with.
Don't give him these separate 1v1s.
Nope.
Derek entertaining the idea.
Don't. Please don't. Please don't. It's Alpha. This is the Wonder Kid. This is the young gun, right?
They're not looking this way.
Oh,
Cryo luckily turning at just the right moment to find that kill. And 100 Thieves put their first on the board in the second half. Have to build upon this.
Look, I hate them. You know, when we speak to coaches or players, they give you the classic, it's round by round. We only think about the round in front of us. That's all they can think about. Genuinely, it sounds like such a non-narrative, but if they think bigger picture, it's all but done. Damn, Asuna, that shot was ridiculous.
You need Asuna delivering them pretty much every round. Need Durka off the board at the start. You need Asuna. Back to that Icebox form.
Oh. But Michael, I've heard things about Frenzies. I get nervous when I see Frenzies. Any other gun? Honestly, a Sheriff I'm pretty chill with. Frenzy, don't know how to feel. Cryo, though, has the big boy rifle. Should be all right. Oh God.
No.
Okay, that wasn't even the Frenzy. Here we go. Thank you, Cryo. There it is. Chronicle, done. Dealt with. 4 more. Boaster should be dead here if he steps out. I keep saying should, maybe, if, because I'm nervous.
I want Cryo and Derek off-site right now. Fnatic are so close to them.
I mean, a Classic or a Frenzy will do enough damage to absolutely endanger your life. Cryo, careful now. This is getting really precarious. Fnatic just trying to toy with him, bring him closer. No intent fully to plant, but now there you're going to see it. The Bulldogs back in the hand for Boaster. Boaster, how much more can you do here? Leo's fallen. Boaster dealing damage. Alpha standing. And now 2 on the other side. The Vandal is currently down. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That's 4.
Tick in the box.
Second
on the board.
Here we go. Here we go.
Damage done on the side of Fnatic. Or not even the 100 Thieves want to try and round out this purchase. Yeah, Derek considering the Vandal there. Asuna going to commit to the Bulldog.
I really don't blame going as all in as you possibly can at this point. 10 rounds against you, as much as, yes, you can only play the round in front of you.
There's only two full purchases behind this for Cryo and Derek.
Make it count. The light armor's going out and the rifles for Fnatic. And they start with a look towards A. Derek trying to make sure Asuna does have safe passage, but he's actually going to back away from this. Opts against it, but certainly gets into their heads that there could be a player in towards Nest, and they drift off.
Looks like Bang and Stella are going to be tested with this B-side hold. Now, one thing, just note whether or not Leo's going to be in a position. No shock darts, actually, so he can't deal with that first Nano Swarm. Something that was completely absent on the side of 100 Thieves. Punished time and time again. And no use of the shock dart to remove that Nano Swarm ahead of the wall going up. No opportunity for it here, or not, they just look to try and spam it. Early snake bite. Nano Swarm burns up as well, but look at the difference. The wall's invested so much later, so much deeper by Fnatic.
Yeah, but Stella's got a little bit of room, and Derek's found Boaster trying to drift a little deeper. Oh man, I thought Stella could have a swing on that, but no. Durka all too aware, but a great trade. It's a 4v3. The plant now going to commence over Fnatic. Paranoid does not find, and Asuna closing the gap. Alpha's punished Derek, oh dear. This is now a 3v3. Chronicle sticking around here. He is not backed away from this. Asuna, are you going to be able to clear this one? Chronicle still unnoted, still waiting, and now he pulls the trigger. Now he finds Bang, and now look at the rest. Who else is remaining? It's Alpha in a 1v2. 100 Thieves bringing it back to 5.
Clawing their way back in.
Ooh.
Again, you can see the difference. 100 Thieves are so conscious of giving away an opener that they concede all this space. And Fnatic have the awareness. Time and time again, 100 Thieves were investing the wall early, committing to the default plant, didn't really have any tangible information about what was going on behind default, towards connector, nothing. Just relying on that rinse and repeat, clean plant, reset towards main.
But the first challenge has been completed, but it's not over yet, right? We've got a scrappy buy back in for Fnatic. They have a couple of rounds to play with here. I don't mind them going for this sort of stuff.
No, especially not when you're throwing the light armors into their rifle rounds as well.
Yes.
You have the opportunity to put a little more punch in your eco rounds.
Yeah, don't mind it. So again, they're not certainly out of the woods yet. For 100 Thieves, they have to keep on this level. And if they can get a couple of clean rounds, build up their own money, that would be wondrous. They've been missing out on that. A little bit of exploration over towards B long as well. Asuna going to commit the wall this time. They're right in their read. Fnatic are certainly on the other side here.
Dirk are really going to be the one you want to look for an opener here with that Guardian. And Thieves again conceding a lot of space, relying on those nano swarms to either do damage or slow down that spike being planted, buying time for the rotate, or potentially this flank actually from Cryo and Bang.
There is a turret there, so it won't be unchecked on, but it could still do some serious damage. There's the lockdown, though. But we noted it early. They were sitting quite deep on this. This wasn't going to be something to really worry about. There go the site-committed utility, but it's Cryo on the other side. Hold on. Leo and Alpha. Sat waiting. Bang. Oh, does he get around this? They're just on the other side of this wall. The ult's going to go in on the side. Leo finds Cryo. And now Bang got ahead of it, but this is now worrying signs. It's 4v4. Bang. Does he get the timing right there? They're considering it. Oh, dear. It fell apart, and now Chronicles found Asuna. You've got Derek and Stella standing, and this was a round with just kind of Spectres, bits and pieces, stingers, excuse me. Derek looking for Leo, finds him. Great work. Needs a bit more, though. Alpha on the back lines and boasted towards the site. And look at this patience.
Oh, no.
The short.
He's caught the dart!
It's on him. He's trying to do what he can, but he can't make anything happen. And now Alpha in the 1v2, spotting the players on the site, and the defuse begins. How much more can he achieve? Stella's sitting this. Stella's on it. He's removed, and Fnatic turning it in 100 Thieves' faces. We said they weren't out of the woods just yet, and they are dragged back into them.
I mean, they said you can put a little more bite to your eco rounds. Fnatic ripping that one away from 100 Thieves. Boaster just catching the dart on his chest. But didn't end up mattering. The awareness, though, to still be diligent enough to expect a second on that flank. Beautiful stuff from Leo and Alpha.
Oh, man.
And look at 100 Thieves buy. It's back down to scraps.
Okay, they did get a couple more rifles. Split. I mean, Asuna really hasn't. There's just, what, 2? Cryo and Bang. And Alpha's just right up the guts, and it's only Alpha. He's got 4 players around him, and he's still taking the fight. Alpha! Insanity on display. Eventually gets dealt with between the Paranoia and Derek, but
they
damn.
concede sight. They concede sight on the back of this engagement. And Alpha's commanding so much from 100 Thieves that the plant comes through for free.
Okay, Hunter's Fury, what does it find? A little bit of a tag. Okay, it's going to find Boaster, that's big. They've got the numbers advantage and they're clearing the site step by step. Durka still going to do damage, but not enough. This is great work from 100 Thieves, right back at him, 4 still standing. They get the upgrades, they get the defuse.
Much needed as well, 4 standing. So we'll be able to establish just a little bit. But just coming back to the same thing, it's not going to matter with Fnatic sticking to that light armor purchase and consistently getting the plants. It's an extra 900 credits per round, even in these losses. They come back in. Actually, Bladestorm online here. I think Alpha's going to be in a position to throw something in here at least. This is around the stark contrast. 100 Thieves look so decisive here to collapse onto Alpha, to get straight back onto site and not allow that post-plant comfort for Fnatic.
I love that. That's a little bit of a glimpse of the 100 Thieves that enamored so many of us during that off-season. Give me some more of that. Again, though, Keep your eyes on the purchase. Durka, knives are out and about. Do have the rifle on Alpha. And the rest, just a smattering of bits and pieces. And once again, this look towards A. Dangerous for Cryo, gotta be careful here. Yeah, does get away with his life. Fortunate, but noted. And there's gonna be another noted. 410 is now just smothered and Dark is on the hunt, prowling for them. Does get away, doesn't overextend, doesn't overheat. The temptation, I'm sure, was calling. But the lockdown's gonna come in, and the plant's gonna come through. And now they're gonna hold on to this. Ooh, Boaster might have a bit of a trouble here.
Get detained, but fairly safe here. They have to prevent Asuna from getting it, so.
Where's the pressure? There's no
There
pressure.
isn't.
There's none. Asuna's sending it. He doesn't need to move again. 100 Thieves stealing the defuse away. It's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last, but they are getting themselves back into this game.
4 rounds separate them, but Fnatic consistently chipping away at these purchases. Cryo finally back on an operator now.
Here we go.
Even look at this scoreline, it's 5-1
Oh my word.
on this
Asuna.
half.
That was so close. Oh, this is... Hey, we said you got to take it round by round, right? What's in front of you? Ignore the scoreline at the top, and they have been.
This
back
is that.
in it.
This is that determination we wanted to see from 100 Thieves. And almost actually, you think about talking about how decisive they were in the previous round. Confidence builders, those sorts of rounds.
Oh, and if Cryo starts heating up with that operator,
It's a different dynamic now for Fnatic to deal with.
that's a lovely prospect.
And it not being the Jet, it's going to be a much deeper hold from Cryo.
There again, a whole lot of information. That A does seem to be that desired end goal, but no big shift of the players just yet. Maybe still paranoid. Could be a lean back over. All gonna go up. Asuna got a little cubby to play in. Sitting toward the screen side here.
2 snake bites, still to invest here.
Oh my god, oh my god!
Durka.
Durka goes straight towards Asuna, who's sat tucked on the site. But now there's problems. Derek's starting to heat up as well. Fnatic are not having the same sort of access towards the site here. Denied on the cross, another one found. Alpha's falling. This is the 100 Thieves we were waiting for. Boaster and Chronicle unable to make it through towards the site. The rotations were in at the right time in the end. And now they're left with nothing.
And just a little off timing with Alpha to swing ahead whilst the res was coming through. Nobody in a position to complement that. 10 seconds left, Chronicle and Boaster. Have to let the clock decide this one.
Do we
100
see the
Thieves,
timeout
man.
thing?
Getting closer and closer.
I'm looking at when Mini pumps the brakes here. When is that timeout now for Fnatic? Because, look, when you have 11 rounds by your name, when you have a big lead, you get X amount of rounds to play with, right? You get a little bit of freedom rounds. But now there is going to be a problem. 100 Thieves are right at the door. They've got a good purchase beside them. They've got a couple ults to play with. They're starting to look good. They're starting to believe in their own capability. And that was missing map 1. It's been missing here until this half. There is still a buy here for Fnatic. So there's certainly, again, still a problem, still a threat. But you're starting to see a little bit more life from 100 Thieves.
And actually for 4 to survive there, gives 100 Thieves a little stability. Bang does have the Viper's Pit, Judge in hand. Expect that invested off the rip, and yes, going to shut down B main.
Ooh, op v op as well. Durka's got his, Cryo on the other side, but
I love this though. Both extremities
Cryo's
under
pushed
control
up.
of 100 Thieves. Cryo posted up.
Oh, so dangerous. Okay, that's fine. There's
I mean,
no one
yeah,
else
he
punished.
gets ahead
Yep.
of there being 4 people behind this. So absolutely fine with that.
Yep. It's to slip away. Fnatic have filled the space in the meantime.
Well,
ish.
very conscious of where Cryo's repositioned to. It's all the way back to safety. Leo, does he spot him with the drone here? Can he get ahead of that wall? Yeah, he can.
Alright, Cryo's got to move. Yeah, realizes. And it's just a dance between these two. All information games. Do see the lockdown coming in. They should be able to get away scot-free here.
Yeah,
Not too much of a threat.
Nothing to stop that. Still nano swarms though to slow down that cross to default.
Asuna's here, Stella's here. They're all around. Boaster's in danger. Down solo. The wall goes up for a little bit of safety, but now the plant does it actually come through. Do they get it in time? Asino's patrolling on the back of the site, dying for a bit of it. Durka, the shot goes astray. The double dip spots no one. They're already on the back of the site. Ooh, Cryo, a dangerous peek and loses out, but the operator back into hand. Another challenger perhaps, and another failure. But Asuna, good for one. The trade, great. Derek's there, and the 2v2. There's still chance, there's still hope. There is the Hunter's Fury though, and there it is, ringing off in the background. Sits on the first. Oh, it still has gone down. How much can Derek do on his own?
He's got to cancel the first player here.
He's done one.
He's going to reset. Oh!
He predicted Leo, 8 more bullets per time. Derek, how much can you do? 12 for Fnatic. Leo waiting patiently to bounce. Puts him on map point, series point, and 100 Thieves now back under the gun.
Just made it all that much harder. Remove that margin for error that 100 Thieves still had with one round missing from Fnatic's scoreboard.
The double dip on that peak is obscene to me. Oof.
Durka just completely unfazed. You can't even fault Stella in this scenario to get the first half through.
He had to do it.
Even there with the last two members of Fnatic, the spacing perfect. Alpha doesn't even need to win that first one, just by a little time.
But this was the first in a while for Fnatic. Don't forget that they had been held on 11 for a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
But it's a confidence game, it's a mental game. We need to see if 100 Thieves have that mentality right now. Bang, noting a little bit of information here. Stick around a little longer, but has to respect it in the end.
The trade-off of information here. Still 4 members of Fnatic semi-committed behind this. Asuna already made his way across. Bang, gotta be careful here.
I'm looking at that late lurk as well from Alpha. We'll see what damage he can achieve. Asuna and Stella! Oh, what a shutdown! Perfect work, Fnatic. Starting to falter. Beautiful work from 100 Thieves. Alpha's still nasty, but 1v5 would be a lot even for him.
I want to see weapons kept here for 100 Thieves. Talk about the purchase. Alpha might even just commit to holding on to this weapon. Right place, right time for 100 Thieves. Perfect setup to greet this B site hit. This is the sort of thing we saw them rely on Fracture that just didn't go their way. Sticking to their guns, committing to these engagements. You see the game plan come to effect in a round like this.
We might have a game now. 10 rounds and 100 Thieves truly are back at the door. I want to see where the money lays for Fnatic. I don't think it's in a great spot now. Yeah, I'm seeing Sheriff Stingers. They still have that rifle on Alpha. But outside of that, the wealth now starting to sit a little bit more comfortably for 100 Thieves. Just a couple rounds prior, keeping a couple more players up, certainly beneficial. But Rez on Asuna, locked down with Stella. Derek 2 away as well.
I was going to say Durka won off the Blaze Storm, so he's going to throw a Guardian in here. Even opportunity to try and swing this round as well if he sees fit. Adjustment here, Cryo, to slow down this B hit with the paranoia. Dart doesn't scan, or at least there's no confirmation of a second player here.
It's the first time we're seeing a bit more of a dedicated split, I guess, to my eye.
Well, Asuna's here again very early on.
I wonder how much information someone like Durka and Alpha find off the back of this. Yeah, Derek is holding deep CT, but they get a lot of freedom on the side. They've had no challenges so far, so they're able to slip closer.
Still got a drone though, and still going to actually have another recon back online. Remove Durka.
Very nice. This should be the plant now. Ooh, boast up. Denied that.
Delay coming through once again. Shock Dart to try and follow up as well. And actually, Stella throws the lockdown in here.
Yeah, not taking any prisoners, it feels like. Do they try and offset the timing on the pressure? It looks like they're considering it towards rafters, towards screens. And yeah, they absolutely are. No plant. They've drawn out the lockdown, I guess, but
I mean, that's a big win for Fnatic, honestly, with this purchase.
Asuna. Next challenger. Gonna get it. Lovely. Alpha gone. That, I think, is the rifle actually removed, if I'm not mistaken. At least one of them. Maybe both able to slip that back to hand. Yep. Give that over to Chronicle.
Boaster's got the rough end of the deal there.
I mean, just trying to draw away ults, trying to draw away weapons. Leo going to take away from Derek. This will be double digits, though, for 100 Thieves. And they are doing a fair amount of damage here. This is, obviously, the round does go 100 Thieves' way. We talk bigger picture, taking away some of the ults there. Taking away some of the weaponry. We'll see what the knock-on effect may be like.
Love the Hunter's Fury in the res here for 100 Thieves. Talked about Fnatic
It's mini
having
time.
that Blade Storm, yeah. Yeah, I mean, because it is getting a little concerning now.
Oh, it's been concerning for a couple of rounds in my mind.
This should have been impossible for 100 Thieves.
Yep. I'm glad I didn't commit a tattoo to this one, because that was the throw from Sue there. You're like, you know, do you believe in miracles? Well, I might be at this point. Fnatic pumping the brakes, though.
Another scenario where the stars just aligning for 100 Thieves to even make this a reality.
It's a big reason in my mind where we always look at 100 Thieves as potential. It's like, okay, but imagine if you get an Asuna, you know, Cryo, bang game, everyone's online, Stella, you know, all the stars align, as you said. If that happens, this team can go toe-to-toe with anyone. We haven't really seen that form. We saw a scrappy form, but this is glimmers of that. It's little threads of that potential really coming to light. Taking this game back from Fnatic after that first half? Come on. This could be huge. This, I dare say it, map 3. We wait. Mini with the timeout now. What has he cooked up? What's he got brewing for us here at 12 to 10?
I mean, just looking at it, outside of this, it's only going to be Leo and Durka to be able to purchase here after this. So technically they win this. 100 Thieves will be in a position to convert and force overtime. See if Durka can get anything done with the base. I don't think he spotted that. Oh, he actually did, yeah. Thought it was just out of line of sight, but doesn't want to deal with it just yet. 100 Thieves completely giving up A site.
Yeah. But it's allowing them a lot more room to kind of lean towards middle, to kind of have that support system by Bang, so it kind of works out well. Durka, I mean, this just seems desperate. He is in real trouble here. He's going to be chased down with the Hunter's Fury. Wasn't noted the first time. Tag goes on to Leo. Look at the damage!
Big tags!
Oh my god, that's massive! Softened up the walking wounded Fnatic. Now struggling to find their way in. Bang being a problem as well, buying precious seconds, keeping them locked in.
The crazy thing is, things like that are when that light armor purchase looks really concerning.
Yeah. First time it's really come back to haunt them.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that punished to this extent before.
I mean, Leo's 30 HP, Alpha's 45, Durka's 36, Chronicle 45, Boaster, the only healthy member of Fnatic right now. And they're running into a Nano Swarm setup again.
Boaster's going to have to bail him out with something here. First time we've seen him explore this option, and he actually best Cryo. Huge. And this is now going to tell a different tale. It kind of almost indicative of that B hit here. Asuna kills him quickly. Rez is back up, but the site is under scrutiny. 20 seconds now, and this is where the problem started out. Dirk is in danger. He can't stay alive, just sees a little leg, and he's left down to the shorty. They still need a plant to come in. They're going to get it just about now with 13 seconds. Any more chip damage, any more danger. They're done for. Durka delivering, but the spike gets denied. No one's planting right now. They have to hold on to this round. Finally, they get back to the plant, but it's a 2v2. Durka gets it down. He's already got the shot. He's a hand. Alpha finds Asuna. Bang! Leads it. Oh! That's how it ends. The comeback is crushed. Fnatic move forward, and there is no tomorrow for 100 Thieves.
It's so crazy that they get away with pulling that execute off. You look at the setup, you look at the damage done, you look at the Nano Swarm still there, the time, the clock, the shot darts. It's madness.
There's no way that's the round that they converted. I guess, hey, if we look bigger picture, that's karma coming back around for some of those cheeky defuses, those naughty rounds 100 Thieves are getting away with. But out of all the rounds we've seen, I felt like that one was the one that they were going to be able to pull this game back, potentially open up a map 3. 100 Thieves, what a squad. What potential this team has, and once again, we wait to see if that comes through later down the line.
A tough event for them overall, like I said, stretch the distance in all their series, and even here, you almost want to see this one go to a third map.
I'd love to.
With that comeback, almost deserving of it, but then take nothing away from Fnatic's performance.
Yeah, these boys are looking incredible. A mean-looking team. Yeah, faltering a little on the second half, but that looks like the closest game we've had so far for them, and they still pulled it across the line. stars aligning for these boys. See, I just...
Alpha just doesn't get the memo for any of these celebrations.
He's never in the conversation.
No.
He's out his headphone on, you know what I mean? But at 13-10, what a scoreline, Mike. This was... It never felt like it was meant to be this sort of game. And just to note at the end, Durka, 26 kills, Asuna, 20.
Oh, this is the thing as well, I'm coming back. I want to come back to the comp. I don't want to harp on it too much, but seeing Asuna on the attack, the one that has to commit to getting the wall down and the spike, when historically we know what he's capable of. Then you talk about Cryo not being on the jet and not being able to support Asuna on that front line, not having a duelist to come up, or anybody really to come up and help Asuna there. And that's why it looks so uncomfortable in some of these rounds.
Yeah, credit to those players to still make it work considering. But man, that first half, it feels like two very different games, right? A tale of two halves completely. And you think, God, if only we saw that spark in 100 Thieves earlier. If something could have aligned for them.
The slow comp looks much better for 100 Thieves on defense. Again, with a little bit more of a buffer. Who knows? We could be looking at a third map.
Yeah, we certainly could have been. Again, I loved how this ended. It was a little wild, but it felt almost suitable as a way to kind of punctuate the ending.
Absolutely. I mean, EMEA needed some wins this week. So we'll ride that high. Yeah. And I guess it is heartbreaking to see 100 Thieves eliminated in this fashion. Obviously, map 1 aside, map 2 come back. The fact that it comes down to that in the elimination rounds. It is tough to say goodbye to a team like 100 Thieves, because I don't think they played particularly poorly, but we definitely didn't see them hit their potential.
No, we won't see that peak. That's what we're all here for. And something that you guys at home need to do for us is get involved with the MVP. Let us know who you think was the standout player there for you. Where are you going on this one? You've got a couple of options.
My COVID brother, Leo.
I'm going for Hypoc. I'm going for you. Look at your name up there. Look at you. Look at you.
I was hyper focused on Leo being up there, but yeah, I mean, I'll take one, yeah.
Yeah, both of you let out of the jail cell. That's wonderful news. I'm glad. But yeah, have your votes and get through to us. That was a fantastic series that came out of nowhere. It's a pleasure to have you back, Mike. Poor old Seth is now finally can have a break. But thank you for joining us. Do stick around. The desk will be joining with the guests still. All of that good stuff still to come.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Verizon post-map interview. We have a guest here on stage with us. It's Boaster, who, quite frankly, was a very naughty boy during his interview yesterday, so I had to bring in some additional muscle, a little bit of backup.
Yeah, but don't worry about that. I mean, you know me, we're cool. Listen, Jake, can I call you Jake? Is that all right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I wanted to just congratulate you. First of all, fantastic performance and a very dominant win. You've sent home North America's last hope. I mean, how do you feel?
Honestly, well, firstly, you two stood next to me. You ain't got nothing on these guns. All I'm going to say is that. And then also with 100 Thieves, hopefully by now Nadeshot might know me because I went on his Twitch stream once. He didn't know who I was when I was typing in his chat, but maybe he knows me now.
That's enough. That's enough of that. Quite frankly, I don't care. Here's the real question that I have for you. How does it feel to know that you're playing Na'Vi next round, and every time, well, I'm not done. Every time you wake up, you look in the mirror, and you realize you will never be as good as Angel. You will never frag as hard as Angel. You'll never call as well as Angel.
That's not very nice.
I'm not here to be nice, Boaster.
Yo.
Don't worry about him, mate. Listen. Here's a drink after the big game. Here's a little snack, you know. Are you comfortable? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm lovely, thank
All
you.
right, good. Well, tell me a bit then about your individual performance. We've seen you performing a lot better, Angel as well. You going through some kind of routine? Can you walk us through the deathmatch training?
I don't do any deathmatch. Maybe that's the secret. I just do. Jesus.
Give me this. I'm so sick of this. There's proof. We have proof. You broke 100 Thieves' arms. Okay? You tweeted about it. We have video. Admit it right now.
All right, I did. But it was like they were coming at me in the gym saying like, "You ain't gonna break arms," and I was just like, "Yeah, I am." And then I like slapped Derek, and then I kicked him, and then he fell over, broke his arm.
You
and
hearing
then
this?
Stella came at me doing pull-ups because he does like 10 pull-ups, and I was like, I ain't having that. Boom! Right on the arm, broken.
We'll have to get your lawyer in touch. That's okay. But listen. As a representative of the Americas, we forgive you. And also, they've got very good health care here in Brazil, so you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We've got a few more questions to ask Boaster, though, don't we? So, you know, maybe we'll just take this around somewhere else, and we'll finish this process out properly. But I think that about does it for the Verizon post-match interview. We'll have to send things back over to Yinsu.
What is going on?
Well, Durka looks a bit different, but honestly, I feel like that Angel versus Boaster thing is going to be a bit relevant as we talk about everything else ahead of us. But that game nearly was a bit of a thrown addict, Vala. I know you were talking about it. They have a choke in them. I think very, very nearly we saw that side of them again.
Yeah, I mean, even just a few rounds into the second half, I was getting concerned. I was getting scared. The fact that there's still that in them. There's still that in them against 100 Thieves, a team that they've already beaten, that they're comfortable with. Just because this is a pressure match, that is all that it takes. I'm very worried and concerned for the pressure and how they're going to call. It felt like they were overcooking way too much in that second half.
Yeah, it really was a story of two halves because we take a look back and it was flawless in the first half. Every individual is popping off. 100 Thieves looks absolutely boomed. But when things turned around, when we went to the other side, yeah, Fnatic struggled to get a read on this one. I think especially because 100 Thieves, I think, was doing things very similar to what they've done in the past. The strength of their composition, play retake with this Omen, fight in with the Paranoia, get a smoke down, and stick on that spike. And Fnatic really struggled to win out in those post runs regardless.
Yeah, like the first half was very Fnatic way, but maybe when the second half started, Fnatic was, okay, let's try not to show so many stuffs, but then started losing rounds, and the momentum was there, and it was very hard to go over this, but like in the end, the shorty made a difference.
I love how it ended with the shorty.
You were mentioning how 100 Thieves decided to choose attack first.
Yeah,
and
that's what's weird.
their defense was much stronger. Can you walk me through why you thought 100 Thieves should be starting on defense?
Yeah, even with the composition, like they don't have a duelist, but they have Omen, they have Sage, they have Viper. They have a really strong agents that they can try to hold down the execution and even use the Omen Paranoia to make retakes. That's a really strong side. When they don't have a dive like a Jet Dash or something like that. So I feel that 100 Thieves composition is way more defense.
Yeah, and I think they absolutely showed that in the second half. But I think now my question to think about here is, should we be worried now about Fnatic going into the match versus Na'Vi? Because for Na'Vi, they came out in that match after losing a few rounds in the first, having it be competitive in the first half of that game. They absolutely dominated their way through the rest of the series, whereas Fnatic feels like maybe in this map they could have shown some of those cracks that we've come to know from this team, which is always, they look fantastic, they look perfect, they get to a certain line, and then you start to see the pressure get to them a little bit.
Yeah, this is the first time they've made it to top 4 again. And I think after yesterday's match against Furia, Mini was going to age like 50 years after that. But it definitely felt like on the stage today, it took forever for him to call a timeout. I was thinking he just went AFK. He went for a spa day or something because the first 3 halves were so easy for them. We were on track to be like the fastest series in VCT ever at an international stage, and then all of a sudden that happens, and then all of a sudden it starts to split.
I mean, it's just a good thing that they closed it out, right? Because if they didn't, I think our worries will be growing even more. There, Mimi. We will see Fnatic again in a few days, but for now, we have to say goodbye to NA's last representative. Not the America's last representative, but just for NA. BZK, what did you make of their performance today? I know the first map wasn't the best, but it felt like they were showing something on Icebox.
No, definitely. Even on Fracture, the first match, they played very well. They saw Icebox really good as well. But sometimes that's what the team needs to get to the next level. You need to go through some tough times, some hard matches, and even almost throwing a match teaches you a lot during the competition. So I think that's a good point of Fnatic that this happened now.
Yeah, and 100 Thieves, they're going to be your rivals in the Americas.
They are.
How does the expectation change for you there? Are you looking forward to playing them? Is that easy fish for you guys?
Yeah, like for me, I don't like too much to see about our opponents. I like to really focus on our team and like do our work. So like it doesn't matter much, you know, like we're gonna keep doing our work and keep focusing on our team.
And I'm sure that 100 Thieves is going to do the exact same, right? They're going to take this as an opportunity to learn, as this team always does, and come back and make some improvements off of what happened here.
Well, before the break, we asked you guys to vote for the player of the match. Let's have a look at the results. I have a sneaky feeling that this might go to the king of Icebox. Of course, it is Durka. Put some respect on his name. Mimi, he was great last year, and it's good to see that he's carrying that form on Icebox this year as well.
Yeah, it really has been a continuation for this guy. He put on an absolute masterclass in that first half, dominant in that one, and even rewinding further earlier into the series, it was this raise as well. I think what's made Durka so impressive is that what we've talked about a lot of other Star Jet players, like even Cryo, for example, they struggle a little bit when they have to switch on over to these other roles. But for Durka, he's always been fantastic, no matter what you put him on.
Yeah, and I think actually the Cryo point is interesting because one of the things I thought for 100 Thieves was Cryo coming in actually frees up the rest of his stars. And I think the super team that Fnatic has formed has freed up Durka to go absolutely crazy. He doesn't have as much pressure on his shoulders. He can rely on his superstars in Chronicle and Leo to take some of the legwork out of it as well. And Alphayear, you can throw him into that too. He definitely should have the conversation too, because not only is he committing to another role entirely on that, Icebox is a different story, but I think Durka right now has freedom more so than he's ever had before.
I do want to ask you, BZK, do you see this Fnatic team as a super team? Is this a super team for you?
Yeah, like in Europe, I see two teams that are really strong. They're going to face each other next game. That's Fnatic and Navi. They're two really big teams. We had Liquid as well, but Liquid had some problems during the tournament. And I feel just EMEA, it's so strong right now. Like, we have so many good teams.
He said it.
2 teams in the top 4. I mean,
but at the same time, America's still there, okay? So.
But you said it. I'm just so glad you said it. Well, let's move on to the HyperX reflex moment of the day. We're going to rewind a little bit and give this to Sugetsu from match 1. And Mimi, again, what a player he is, really on there representing.
Which one of the clutches was this one again? There were so many for this team, and this one was absolutely insane. Leviathan swing 3 players into him as he wants. Does not matter. He still wins it. Sugetsu is looking on championship form.
Yeah, I think the stuff that he was doing on Ascent as well, just disgusting. I think the prep that this guy is doing, the research that he's doing, and actually being able to implement some of the stuff that he's doing is not only impressive in itself, but then he's able to pull off stuff like that.
That you were impressed with that. I saw your reaction.
Like, the amount of rounds Shao and Sugetsu got to win for Navi, even like they were in a bad situation around and they were just able to get something out of the hat, was impressive. Like, they had so many good individual skill there in this team. So much firepower.
Oh, and this matchup's going to be kind of crazy if we rewind and have a look at the tournament bracket. It is closed now. The Omega bracket is shut. You know, we have 4 teams left. We have Loud DRX in the Alpha, and then we have Fnatic versus Na'Vi in the Omega. This is really, really crazy. BZK, we're not going to have you with us for the next test, so I want to get your predictions. Who do you think is winning both of these brackets?
I need to cheer for Loud.
Okay.
My former teammates, my friends. So I'm gonna go for Loud, and in the second game from Fnatic and Navi.
Oh, that's a hard one. Oh!
Navi maybe.
And then will Loud win it all?
Loud win it all, yeah.
All right, Mimi?
Okay, I would have to pred right now. Navi for sure. The other one I'm so unsure about between DRX
Yeah, that one's
and,
tough. That
and
one's
Loud.
I
Since
had
Bazooka's
DRX
here,
before,
I'm
but-
betting Loud.
We are in Brazil. We are in Brazil.
yeah,
Here
we
in
are in
Brazil,
Brazil.
Loud
We
will
are
win.
in Brazil.
Number 1 team in the world.
Yeah, I had DRX before, but I think Loud's, their form is really, really strong, and DRX had some ups and some downs, but super innovative. I can't wait for that match. I'm still thinking Loud, but who knows how my opinions change. It's like the wind.
Yeah, I think whoever wins in these semifinals, the grand final is going to be absolutely insane. We're guaranteed to get 2 different international leagues facing off against each other. It's going to be such a great finals weekend.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of best of 5s coming our way as well. Thank you very much, BZK, for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Bala and Mimi as well. We're going to have a couple of days to relax and have a break and prepare for the next stage of this tournament. Make sure you join us again on Thursday for DRX versus Loud and Fnatic versus Na'Vi. We'll see you then. These are 2 of the best teams in this entire tournament going head to head. Angel looking to lead Na'Vi to pick up another trophy, and King, they're just looking to make history for Leviathan, and so far they already have.
There's one player at the back of the site, that's Xiao. Got to do the most. Okay, 2 kills. Left to that 1v1, Xiao. He set them up, but can he finish it? Finally does it, and he lands it. Unbelievable. Good lord. Gonna be hopping and skipping, doing a little dance.
Winner dance, guys. Winner dance.
Navi will swarm the site.
10 seconds.
Can't quite get it, but it is traded out. Taco, knives out. Right click, and no more time to plant the spike. That was, where was that from? What? A warbang angle from there? So hard, and CNED, man, he's taking the fight right to them. Map 1, completely finalized and finished up there. Na'Vi, what a way to do it. It's up to Sugetsu, 1v3, first shot found. 1, 2, 3! That is absurd!
One tops, one tops, one tops, one tops, one tops.
We have time for massage.
Don't waste my time, guys. Focus.
Rolling Thunder now, pushing forwards, but that's not the weapon for the job. None of those angles.
Nice, nice, guys. Well done.
No chance in hell. It's Na'Vi taking it 13-3.
You couldn't make more of a statement to showcase that Na'Vi are on their hunt for a second trophy.
It's the 3rd time we've seen both of these teams that lock in, and Leo is finally able to join Fnatic on stage. This could be a tough challenge for 100 Thieves.
Poster? How's he found Bang like that?
Like I said, he was noted with that reveal previously.
Cryo. It's done for the Turkish superstar, the kid himself.
Oh my God.
Darker in unison.
Yeah, we got it. No one's escaping us.
Let's go, full focus, full comms, keep the trust, keep the confidence. Let's close.
But Durka gonna pop the ult. That's Stella gone. Everything is fabulous. Cryo dead. Durka buries him. Fnatic look formidable. The run remains untarnished. Fnatic looking unbelievably good. 13-1. Now a tap on towards the diffuse walls there. Asuna leans forward, takes down Bosto. Chronicle answers back. Doubles down into it. And now just one like deleted. Chronicle.
Nice, Chronicle.
Oh my god, they're all there. They're all there. They're all there and they're all his. Durka is just devious with it.
My map.
Placing swarm grenade.
How much more can he achieve?
Enemy remaining.
Stella's on it. He's removed and Fnatic turning it in 100 Thieves' faces.
That's my boy.
Finally they get back to the plot, but it's a 2v2. Durka gets it down. He's already got the shot. He's Alpha. Finds Asuna. Bang. Leads in. Oh! That's how it ends. The comeback is crushed. Fnatic move forward, and there is no tomorrow for 100 Thieves.